find a spot in your house that's clutter-free and then just sit down. So, keeping the spine straight. And go ahead and sit down. It'll be easier for most. Now if you have blocks, please go ahead and grab some blocks. If you don't have blocks, go ahead and don't worry about it. Just grab a blanket or something, whatever it is, off your bed or off your couch. Or if you have a yoga blanket, grab a yoga blanket, whatever feels appropriate right now. We're holding here. Just breathe. And as we tune into the body this morning, let's simply notice what comes up. It doesn't have to be anything major, it doesn't have to be very deep, just what is coming up right now. It could just be you're tired, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, or you feel tight. Just let's keep it simple. Let's take a few more breaths. TJ. And before we start moving through practice, notice what came up for you. I want you to inhale deeply. She sleeps all day, but as soon as I start doing yoga, she just shows up, always. So inhale deeply. And as you exhale, release whatever it is you came up with, whatever is going on in your body. And again, inhale. And exhale. TJ. And then gently go ahead and start rotating your neck to the right. Trying to make circles. Becoming completely aware of if there's any tightness. Or maybe there's a spot in your neck that needs a little more attention. And that's the spot where you stop. And then you breathe through that, imagining there's a gaping hole as you inhale. TJ, she never barks. It happens. So letting the air coming through the part of your neck that feels a little stuck. It's almost like you're imagining like there's a hole that opens up and you inhale and suck the air in. And as you exhale, it just exhales straight out, releasing all the tension. And then switch to the opposite side if you can. Keep circling, keep moving gently. As you can tell, she's very ferocious. Hey. And so same thing, find a spot in your neck and just hold here. And breathe. And just keep circling. And come back center. And pause and breathe. And simply inhaling, arms up. And as you exhale, twist to the right or left, it does not matter. Keeping your shoulders even. Inhale, keep reaching up at the top of your head. Exhaling, finding a deeper twist. 2 breaths. Then inhale, arms up. And then exhale, go to the opposite side. And breathe. And come all the way back to center. And as you exhale, gather your hands into prayer pose. And I would like for you to set an intention for your morning's practice. What is it that you need? What does your life need? What does your body need? What does your spirit and your soul need? Keep breathing. And inhale and bring your thumbs to your third eye, which is the point of intention and intuition and manifestation. To whatever desires, whatever deep need you had that you set up as an intention, just bring it up to that third eye. Just holding it true. And then gather your hands back to your heart center and pause. And see if you can open your legs wide open. So grab a block if you have a block. If not, it's fine. But I want you to scoot your hips forward as much as you can. So not too much. We're just starting. So you might not be fully open yet. And I'm certainly not. So just scoot those hands forward or the block forward only as far as you can. Keep flexing your feet up. Now I need to breathe through your inner thighs. And what it looks like when I say breathe through something is that as you're inhaling, you're feeling the breath going up the legs, but also through in the part where you're focusing on. Okay, hold on 1 second. Hey, TJ, enough. No. Two more breaths. Come all the way up. Go see Holly. Go see Holly. Come on, go. And I want you to take your hands and make small and really kind of like soft fists. And then just start gently. So it doesn't mean you're hitting yourself very hard. You're just kind of like going up and down to your inner thighs, all the way to your knees, to your groin, and just back and forth gently. A few more times. And then come back to center. And then bring the sole of your feet together and open your knees wide open. Spine straight. Breathe here. And then gently fold forward. Hold and breathe. Drawing the breath in from the tailbone up the spine. And come all the way up. Extend your legs forward. So keep a bend in the knees if you need to. Inhale, arms up. And as you exhale, fold as far down as you can towards your feet. And pause and hold here. Keep breathing. You can even relax your hands on each side of your thighs. Keep finding the breath. The most important is you keep pressing out with your heels and then back with your toes. You can really feel the stretch up your calves and up the hamstrings. And then slowly come all the way. And bend your knees again. Keeping the left foot forward. So if you can extend your right leg forward. And all you're going to do is lean to your left and then bring your knee back but bend it at the knee so that you're in an assisted pigeon. Now this is when if you have a blanket or a block that might become handy. So what you want is make sure that both your glutes are pressing down. So if you feel like you're lifting on one side, then what you want to do is make sure you even yourself out. So the way you would put a prop right now is put it underneath the hip that has the knee forward. Okay, so you put a prop underneath that so that you elevate and then you're completely flat. And breathe here, and then as you exhale, gently fold forward and then pause. So feel the breath reaching your hips. 2 more inhales. Stay here. Deepen every time you exhale. Come a little lower. Find a little more depth. You can stay here a little longer. Just keep breathing in. So the hips are a tricky part of our bodies. They hold on to pretty much everything that goes on, and mostly negative emotions. So if you get angry or you get frustrated or you're sad and you don't process it, then it goes and gets stored in the hips, and then it tightens and tightens and tightens, and before you know it, everything is locked up. Then you feel really stuck, right? And that feeling of being stuck reflects into your life. So what happens is you might feel you start getting stuck in your life as well. You feel like you have more fear, or you feel as you can't move forward. And often that comes from trapped emotions in the hips. Now, also the reverse is true, which means that you first go ahead and come all the way up. Take your back leg forward, and then take your foot into your hands, and then just wrap it if you can, or just hold it. So what I was saying is, what can happen too, as the reverse is true, which means that you can have something that happens in your life that scares you, or you are wondering, afraid of what might happen, and you're just not surrendering to the idea that maybe it won't happen the way you want to, or something could happen, whatever that is for you. But if you are not completely okay with that event not happening the way you want to, then also that gets stored up in your hips because it's fear, and then your hips tighten up. So it's one or the other. It's often true. So I don't know which one it is for you. And sometimes it's just physical, like there's something you've been sitting at a desk for like 12 hours a day for like 7 days in a row, and then your hips will get tight. So that's also a possibility. But I urge you to investigate and go a little deeper. So moving back and forth if you haven't started doing that yet. 2 more breaths. And as you exhale, if you can, you're going to take that foot over. Spine straight. Arm behind you, inhale up. And then exhale, wrap your arm, so don't bring your elbow over. I want you to just wrap the arm around. Sometimes if you just ate, that might not be the best pose for you because you might feel your belly's getting squeezed. We'll just stay here, breathe, 2 more. And as you exhale, come back. Extend that leg you had forward. Jiggle, jiggle. And then we're going to switch. So bend that right foot in. Take your back leg all the way out. Like that. And keep that knee bent. So same thing, okay? Just make sure your hips are even. So if you need to, put a prop underneath the hip that has the knee that's forward so that you even that out. Deep breath and then folding forward as much as possible. So you should be feeling this into the hip that has the knee forward. So I keep not giving you a right or a left because everybody might have a different one forward. So just breathe right here. Should be just reaching to the side, your IT bends all the way to the hip flexors. But it's important that you send your breath to those areas. Just let it breathe. Two more times. And then slowly come up. Let's pause here for a breath. And then take that back leg all the way around. And then grab that foot. Now notice if maybe this leg feels tighter or looser. Right? It's really going to depend on what's going on. In the yoga philosophy, there's often the belief that the left side is the feminine side, the right side is the masculine side. It's because to the left is where feminine energy comes in. So the right is where masculine energy comes in. But I don't know. For me personally, it just depends on the days. So what, besides just focusing on left and right based on feminine and masculine, what I want you to focus on and feeling if there's an imbalance in your body, they're really all that matters. Do you feel there's an imbalance in your body? And then if you feel that's the truth, there's one side that's more prominent than the other, one side that's tighter, then just go ahead and dig in a little bit. With your breath, try to find out what the heck is going on. Take that foot over. Maybe it's just a posture thing, or maybe it's something that's going on emotionally in your life. I don't think there's a blanket statement for everyone. Wrap that arm around your knee. Because everybody really, truly is different. What might work for me might not work for you. What is true for me might not be true for you. So if you're reading any, self-help books or yoga books, and you come across statements as this is what it is or this is what it is, just always take this with a grain of salt. Come back center, put the sole of your feet back together, open your knees open. One more time. Always take everything with a grain of salt and then try it on to see if it feels real to you, because it might not, and that's okay. No one knows everything, right? One more time, you're gonna fold. And just notice if maybe you got a little more give. And come all the way up. And we're gonna cross the legs and come forward, two hands and knees. And see if you can take your right arm up. And as you exhale, gently just thread that under and lower your shoulder all the way down. Taking that upper arm and reaching it forward. And find a breath as deeply as you can. Find a deeper twist. And come back to your hands and knees. You're going to take that right arm again I want you to bring it all the way up. Take your left leg behind you. Stay to the ball of your foot. Take that arm up and wrap it behind you. Lifting that shoulder up and back. And pause here. Two more breaths. And take your arm all the way up. And then lower that down. You're going to switch, left arm floats up. And exhale, thread that under, lower your shoulder down. Take your arm forward. Pause. Keep breathing here. Just a few more breaths. Coming all the way back to your hands and knees, lift your arm up. You take your right leg behind you, stay to the ball of your foot. You're pressing back with that heel so you open up the calf. Wrap your arm behind your back. Lift, breathe. And take your arm up and then lower that back down. And pause right here. Coming back to your hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. And then as you exhale, come up into a downward facing dog. So if downward facing dog is not okay for you today, I want you to just stay on your hands and knees and breathe right there. And maybe do a few cat-cow. Everybody else, come into down dog. Spread your fingers wide. Press between the thumb and the index fingers. Bring your heels down if you can. Unless you're like me and that's just never happening. Maybe bending one knee and bending the other. Then your hips move side to side. If you're on your hands and knees, just let your spine circulate. We're coming to a stillness into the pose. We're going to take 4 really deep breaths right here. Two more. 3 more. And again. One last one. Exhale, knees down and come into child pose. So reach your arms forward. And drop your forehead down. Breathing all the way. Feel that low back expanding with your breath. And then slowly roll up. So come to sitting on your heels if you can. If you can also use a block and sit on it. Like you put it in between and you just sit. Or you can just sit down. You don't have to stay on your, sitting on your knees and heels if you want to. So you now bring your arms up. And as you exhale, you're going to take your right arm forward and wrap that left arm under. Touching your hands. If you can, so it's not about grabbing your hands, it's just you touch. If that's not okay, you grab behind your shoulder blades. And you give yourself a hug. Everybody reaching elbows forward. Breathe, extend the upper back. Lifting your elbows up a little bit. Hold here. Two more breaths. As you exhale, open your arms back, lift your heart, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and come back. The left arm comes over the right, touch and press forward. Same thing, find the breath. do more. And open up, raise your back, and bring it back down. So pause here for a second. Then come forward, come back to your hands and knees. We're going to come into a puppy pose. So that's actually really great for digestion. It's great to open up the back, the spine. The goal is to keep your hips above your knees. Reach your arms forward. And then drop your heart down. So you're really arching. You can bring your chin down or just your forehead if that feels better. And pause. And keep breathing. Try not to come forward on your hips. Find the breath. It's actually really deep to also on your shoulders, opening up the shoulders, the heart. And focus on letting your belly drop with every breath. Gently coming out of the pose and coming back to sitting. Just deep breath. And notice your whole body, every part of it, from your toes to your hair. From your ankles to your neck, keeping every part of you alive. And then see if you can. So use a block if you need to. You're going to extend your left leg forward, but I want you to take your right foot on top of that thigh if you can. So it's okay, you can use a block, you can put it underneath the right knee or a pillow, something you have. If that's not okay, just bring your foot onto the inner part of your thigh. And I hold here and then just fold as much as you can. So today, as you can tell, I feel really tight, so this is not going to go very far. I want you to respect where you're at and just breathe. Three breaths. And slowly come up. Take your hands behind you. Bend that knee. Keep your foot on top of the knee if you can. And just scoot your torso as close into that left thigh as possible. For those of you who could not have the foot on the thigh, just grab the foot and put it back towards your chest. Breathe. So a lot of hips today. A lot of hips. And one of the reasons why I chose to focus on that today is because I don't know if you are like me, but for the past month, ever since we've been in quarantine, I've done a lot of flipping sitting. And my hips are incredibly tight. Also, there's a lot of unknown, right? And so the unknowns create a little bit of uncertainty. The uncertainties store up in my hips. So I know for sure that I have to work on that so that I can find freedom and more ease in my steps. And then you're going to switch. Right leg extends forward, left on the thigh if you can, or just foot to the side of the thigh. Make sure you're flexing your foot, so you're not dropping the ankle. Block underneath the knee if that feels right. Arms up and folding forward towards that leg. So some people would always say when they come into this pose with the foot onto the thigh, it's just like their ankle bones is digging into the thigh. So if that's you, think of the side of your foot coming onto the top of your leg, and you flexing that foot. Your ankle bone should be nowhere near that thigh. One more breath. Now as you exhale, come all the way up. Same thing, if your foot was not on top, just grab it and bring it in towards your chest. Now bend the knee. And just pause here. Again, noticing your hips, noticing if there's one side that just feels a little more open than the other. And slowly letting that go. Wiggle your hips. Bring the sole of your feet back together. One more time, fold forward. Again, it's about noticing the give. Noticing if your body is letting you have a little more room, a little more space. Two more breaths. And slowly come up. You're going to open your legs wide open. So we started class this way. So let's just see where you're at. And then gently, as much as you can, just fold forward. And just see if maybe it's half an inch, maybe not even. Maybe there's a little more space in your hips. Maybe your adductors, which is the inner thighs muscles, have opened up a little more. It's all about the breath. And then come up. Put your legs back together. And cross your legs. And just breathe in. And noticing if you have more space. More space for your breath to come in. Almost as if your body is the whole universe. It's an entire galaxy that's stored in your body. And as you breathe in and release, it's like the stars are shining brighter. And slowly see if you can roll down to your back. Come laying down. You're going to keep both knees bent. The left knee opens up out. Take your right foot, grab it if you can, and come into a half happy baby pose. Just breathe. Two more breaths. next exhale, take that right foot. You're going to go ahead and cross that knee over the left knee. And then bring your knees all the way to the left, extending your right arm out to the right, look to your right. Find the breath. 2 more. Come all the way back center, and we're going to switch. Get that right foot down on the mat, open your knee out, take your left foot, come into your half happy baby pose. Breathing deep, feeling your low back flattening down. So make sure the sole of your foot is facing up to the ceiling. The ankle is above the knee. Breathe. And then taking that knee over the right knee, and then bring everything out to your right. Extend your left arm out. Bring everything back to center. Grab your feet and come into a happy baby pose. Feel that back opening up. Keeping those feet flexed. 2 more breaths. And bring your knees back together. Hold your knees in. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, gather your forehead up towards your knees. And when you're ready, and slowly come into your Shavasana. Come to laying down, rotating the palms of your hands up. Just breathe. Let your body surrender to your mat. Staying here for a few deep, quiet breaths. Two more inhales. Just letting every breath surrounding you to the mat a little deeper. Feeling yourself melting in. Feeling your entire body accepting and surrendering to what is. Your mind letting go. And instead of your mind leading, your soul steps into the driver's seat. Your soul becomes who you listen to. Your soul becomes who guides you. A few more breaths. Going in deeper and deeper. hands together. Bring your awareness back to your body. Maybe you want to rub the sole of your feet together as well. And stretching back. Turning to your side. And pressing yourself out back to seated. Bring your hands back to your prayer pose. And bowing our head gently. May we walk in beauty. May we walk with kindness, openness, fearlessness, and trust in our hearts. May we not run away from conflict, but instead stay steady as trees, steady as mountains, finding the strengths in our roots, feeling ourselves being grounded and centered. May we lead with an open heart. May we bring peace to our world. May we bring peace to our families, our neighborhood, our friends. May we have gentleness and fearlessness. Inhale and bring your thumbs up to your third eye. We're going to end with one loud Om. Inhale deeply. Make it vibrate through your third eye. Inhale.